Welcome, Karibu. My name is Levi James. I want to take you on a journey in the art world. For me, it started in 1987 in Detroit, Michigan, but today I bring you greetings from Kajiado County in Nairobi, Kenya. One of my first accolades in life was at the Detroit Institute of Art, where I was selected amongst my peers to be exhibited in the Detroit Institute of Art for a painting that I'd made of a tree at midnight in a snowstorm. The playground at the school I was attending, for all those who went to Clark Elementary, shout out to you. It was much like this open field behind me, which is actually also the playground for a local school here in Kajiado County. I want you to take this time and think about what it means to invest in someone and give them accolades, give them rewards for taking time to express themselves artistically. So I'm challenging you. You may not be willing to donate, but buy art. I'm challenging you right now to buy art. Support these local artists so that they can continue to support their local communities. So we're saying we are using our platform as artists to address social issues, to improve the community. You've seen a few artists today. There's several others. Most of us are abstract in nature, so we can address social issues like the war between good and evil, like religion and the good and bad uses of it, for example. You'll see a lot of that in my work in ways that are non-threatening to society as a whole. Unity is a collection of my artwork. It's really an equation that states that the absolute value of the black balls and the white squares is the optimal way to create change in the world, which is also a derivative of the war between good and evil. We have to be willing to step out of what society tells us is okay in order to really make change when it comes to water conservation, when it comes to waste management, when it comes to how we raise our children. There are so many different levels of that the war and good and evil exist upon that, I think Unity Collective has come together in a way within the artist community in a much different way. We're not a traditional gallery trying to take the lion's share of the artist's work. We want to empower artists to continue to empower others along their road. I found myself in Kenya the first time on Mashujaa Day 2022. And now it's almost a year later, and I'm blessed to come back to Kenya. And I'm glad that I've been able to develop relationships with these artists. It started off with a dance crew, right? So the things that came from that dance crew, man, respect to the different dance crews out of Rangai, respect to the artists in Kibera all over, Kenyatta University. So many different pockets of creativity that I've ran into. It just made sense to unify, to bridge the gap. As an African-American man here in Africa, I have not a tribe in a traditional sense, but I know I'm African. And, so the way I can connect to the root is through the fruit of today. And that's the people. That's the people who are still around, but still a tribute to the ancestors. I thank God for them too.
Cheki fala me kam na me zubana na cheki adi Subaru mambaru me kam na me ja Subaru mambaru me kam na me ja Subaru mambaru me kam na me ja Cheki fala me kam na me zubana na cheki adi Subaru mambaru me kam na me ja Subaru mambaru me kam na me ja Subaru mambaru me kam na kinini kidurdu kam na kinini kibugudu kam na kinini ki.
My name is Mondi Juma. I'm an artist. I'm a mixed media artist. I was born and raised in Kibra. Now I'm 20 years old. I have a collective called Artisan Valley. We form it in 2020 when pandemics come. So the role of collective is to empower people in Kibra through arts and educational mural around. So mixed media art is using art with different medias. So since I'm born and raised in Kibra, I use what I have. So in Kibra we have one of the biggest dump site around. So that's where I collect my materials like plastic. I use plastic, metal and wood to make art. So I started art in 2009 where I was doing pencil work and color work. So later in 2009 I joined another collective called Masembeli Collective. Yeah, that's where I learned more how to do painting. During that time I never had a coach because the artists I was working with, they are too old. During that time I was shy. So the thing that helped me to understand art well and do some art was all about learning how to fix things. So the first piece of art I sold was in 2012. Yeah. It was a painting and around it was made out of recycled materials. So I've been doing art. I never knew that I can sell an artwork. That was not my mentality. So the art during that time really stands for me because it was like a therapy, and also I was trying to solve problems in my own way through art. My art is inspired by my life experience and the environment around me. Now the environment around me is Kibra, Skyview. I usually look at Kibera Skyview, the rooftops, the way the rooftops are rusted, so that's my inspiration.
The world will be a place where leadership within the Black community is grown within the Black community. The value that we take upon ourselves will not be of currency, but it will be of the land that we own, that we cultivate ourselves. It'll be within the communities, the tribes that we build. Not necessarily tribalism in a traditional sense, but definitely managing the relationships in our community in a responsible way. Taking statecraft to another level, advancing technologies responsibly, being world leaders, taking the God-given gifts that are in our melanated minds and sharing them with the world in a way that is not necessarily fair, because I think classism, socialism, racism, sexism, all these isms will still exist, but from an artistic perspective, we can address those issues. And if we can spark the minds to think, then we can spark the change to occur.
So my name is Anthony Bwire. I'm 18 years old. I was born and raised here in Kibera, where I became fascinated with art at an early age. My inspiration comes from my mom, because she works for long hours just to provide food for us. So my message to the world, mostly to the youth, is to wake up from their comfort zone and stop believing in good luck. Good luck doesn't exist. You only have to work hard. Hard work and determination counts. Good luck doesn't count. Because good luck doesn't exist.
So my vision I want to achieve through my art, I want to build an art center where the art center will give up people platform. Most of the kids, teenagers and people coming from slums, where they can express their feeling through art, and also give upcoming opportunities to do art and exhibit somewhere. Yeah. It reached a time where I cannot afford like painting like acrylics. They are too much expensive. So during that time I really want to proceed with my art. So I was trying to collect some stuff, familiar, like I collected some recycled materials. I want to like to put it into a color, like collect a yellow beer can to represent color yellow. That's how I started my recycling process. Then at the end, I found a solution. At first time, it was like weird, putting trash together. What am I going to tell people? Like, I want to hang like trash in our home. During that time, my mom was mad at me because I was collecting everything. The great message here is all about cleaning and taking care of the environment. So you can use that trash to make something beautiful like artwork. You can use that, you can recycle things like plastics, aluminiums. Yeah. Art has been beneficial to me because I've expressed a lot into art. So as someone like me and other people, you cannot there's a word that you cannot express. You can't reach many people door to door and time to time. So art has stand for me because I can express words through the murals around. So the murals, Vote for Peace, another education mural like Imagine Tomorrow, another education mural like You Have to Keep Safe. So those murals really stands for me, represent me in another way to transform like message. So many people can see and understand it, yet I'm not there.
Use your platform for good. That's the bottom line. Use your platform for good. It's easy to get caught up in the realities of the world, but we must overcome the realities. And a lot of times, love is the way to do that. So at the end of the day, if we're able to self-discipline ourselves and police our own communities, not waiting on some government to do it or some NGO to come in, but just be that one that's willing to share a smile or some positive message through our works, then we can start creating a change within our own communities, change the hearts and the minds of the people who perceive, whether that's through a dance, whether that's through a painting. There are so many different mediums that you can communicate through. I choose painting, which is primarily nonverbal. It's just a visual representation of an idea that's open for interpretation, which is conversely different to rap, right? But you can still have double entendres in both, you see. So that's, whether I'm on a rap song or on a canvas like this, you're gonna see some double entendres in my work. So just understand that everything in life is a matter of perspective. And that perspective really depends on how you choose to see it. Can you see the multiple perspectives in the same scenario, in the same situation? I believe you can. If you challenge your mind, you can take what you thought was bad, something the devil meant for you to be bad, and realize that it was God's plan for it to be good for you all along.
Those people come from slums. We have maybe negative issues, maybe some people involving them in crime, in alcohol. So if we accept them, receive them like the way a mother receives her own child, yeah, it will be well, because they will stop crime in other things. And if they never being appreciated and all, they have not been shown some love, they'll end up doing crime now and then.
My name is Levi James from Detroit, Michigan. Jack of all trades, as some might refer to me as, but ultimately I just want to do the right thing and make the world a better place for generations to come.